Hello everyone, my name is Manpreet Kaur. I am Assistant Professor in School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, RIMT University. So my today's topic is UV spectroscopy. Here UV is ultraviolet spectroscopy. So first of all you should know about what is the meaning of spectroscopy. So what is the spectroscopy? Spectroscopy, it is the totally measurement which is based on light and the other forms of electromagnetic radiations. Here there are radiations of electromagnetic and it is the one of the matter, that is the between that particular matter of the electromagnetic radiations. The spectral method of analysis which use different type of measurements of the amount of different electromagnetic radiation that is absorbed, emitted or scattered by a sample to form a further analysis. Any type of sample, you just analyze these samples. So electromagnetic radiation, it is the form of energy. Here the two words in electromagnetic radiations, there is first one is your electric and second one is your magnetic. So in the electric energy, that is the electro, and magnetic, that is the magnet energy. It means there it is a form of energy of electric and magnetic energy, that is the electromagnetic radiations. So the EMR, we can also say electromagnetic radiation as EMR. So EMR, it possesses the properties of both discrete particles, which is termed as photons and waves, the different type of waves and photons. Here first of all we need to know what is the meaning of wavelength. Here there are two things which we used in spectroscopy, or we can say that electromagnetic radiation, that is the wavelength and frequency. What is the meaning of wavelength here? Wavelength is defined as the distance between the two adjacent peaks. So we can say that adjacent peaks, that first one is your crest and second one is your troughs. What are the meaning of crest? When the beam of light or radiation of light comes from any object, then there are formation of waves. Then first one is your crest and second one is your trough. So wavelength, it is the distance, that particular distance between adjacent peaks, that is the, or we can say that troughs, and may be designated in meters, centimeters or nanometers. And what is the meaning of frequency here? Frequency, it is the number of wave cycles, whole cycles, the particular one in specific number of that wave cycles that travel past a fixed point per unit of time. Here a specific of time is here, specifically time per unit particularly that, and it's usually given in cycles per second, or we can say that hertz. We can also, it's demonstrated by the hertz. Hertz is Hz, that is. Then there are various regions of ultraviolet spectrum. Here there is a different wavelengths and different regions. All regions have specific wavelengths, like vacuum ultraviolet. Vacuum ultraviolet, it is actually measured between the wavelength, that is the 0.8 nanometer to 200 nanometer. There is a specific range of vacuum UV, that is 0.8 nanometer to 200 nanometer. Then second one is your near UV. Near UV is near ultraviolet. Here is a particular, the specific wavelength of that near UV, that is the 200 nanometer to 400 nanometer. And third one is your visible UV, that is the visible ultraviolet. That's the particular range of that visible region is 400 nanometer to 800 nanometer. So first one is, what is the meaning of spectrum? Spectrum, it is a graph. As we know, the spectrum as its name indicates, that is the spectrum, it is a graph. Graph between what and what? Graph, a plot, or we can say that plot of intensity absorbed or emitted radiation by sample versus frequency or wavelength. So the spectrum is a graph between the intensity and frequency or wavelength. What type of intensity? Intensity is absorbed or emitted radiations. There is the absorption or emission of radiation. How absorption? Absorption is from ground state to excited state. When the all radiations, when they strike from ground state and from ground state to excited state, when the all radiations, firstly it strike to ground state and after that go to excited. When they are going from ground to excited, then it means there is a particular word, that is the fluorescence. Fluorescence is here from ground state to excited state, and here the absorption of energy, and after that there is a phosphorescence. The word which we use, that is the phosphorescence. Phosphorescence is, that is the when energy from excited state to ground state, when energy comes down from excited state to ground state, when energy from that stage there is a emission of radiations. So here the word we use, that is the intensity of absorbed or emitted radiations by sample, any sample which we use here, which we analyze, and versus frequency or wavelength. And now what is the meaning of spectrometer? Spectrometer, as you name meter, it means the measure of something, right? So spectrometer, that is the instrument, particular instrument which is designed to measure the whole spectra. We need to, after all, we need to measure that spectrum which we have like a plot between the intensity and frequency and wavelength. So here the instrument which we use to whole spectrum, that is the measure of whole spectrum of any sample which we analyze, that is known as the spectrometer. So here there are the different types of spectra. So there are mainly three types of spectra here, that is absorption, as we discussed earlier. What is the meaning of absorption? That is the fluorescence and phosphorescence. Then emission and continuous spectra. So first of all is continuous spectra, spectra obtained when white light passes through a prism. Here one is the prism. When any white light comes to the prism and then there is the formation of band of different colors. The formation of band, that is in the form of waveguide. Waveguide is like violet, indigo, blue, yellow, green, and all that different type of band of colors. So this is known as the continuous spectra. When any white light, it passed through the prism and after that it shows the band, it whole shows the band of spectrum. So this is known as the continuous spectra. And then second one is your absorption spectra. What is an absorption spectra? In absorption spectra, there is a spectra that is obtained by absorption of EMR. It means whole electromagnetic radiations here. So that EMR to the atoms, ions or molecules of different sample which we used in UV visible, IR, fluorescence, flame photometer and whatever. So in absorption, there is a absorption, as its name indicate, absorption. So it means absorption of electromagnetic radiation of atoms. Then emission spectra, as its name indicate also, there is a emission of electromagnetic radiations. So that spectra which is obtained by emission of electromagnetic radiations to the atoms, ions, molecules of different samples. So after that, when we all measure the whole type of spectra, so there is a molecular spectra is also here. In molecular spectra, there is when electromagnetic radiations, any EMR's radiations whole it pass through any sample, then there are different transitions occur. There are mainly three type of transitions they occur. First one is your electronic transitions. So different type of electrons, molecules, we say that in that transition. So this is known as electronic transition. Second one is your vibration transitions. Here the whole like vibrations of like an IR spectra. So whole vibration of all electrons and all radiations that takes place, and after that collisions are also takes place in here. And then third one is your rotation, when it forms the whole rotational transitions. When an atom or any type of molecule which absorbs energy, then electrons, they are promoted from ground to excited state, as we discussed earlier. That is, from ground state, when any atoms or molecules, when they strike with that ground state particularly and passes through from any spectra and radiations of light, then it firstly then strike with ground state, and from ground state it also forms into the excited state, and that particular state, that is the known as the absorption. Means here the atoms or molecules, they absorbs energy, means from excited state to ground state to excited state. When all atoms or molecules absorb energy, then it means electrons, they are all promoted from ground state to excited state. So in a molecules, the whole atoms, they can rotate and vibrate. Whole atoms, they can, like we discussed earlier, there are different type of transitions here, like first one is rotational, vibrational and all. So in this a molecule, the atoms, they whole rotate and then vibration with respect to each other. Rotation also is here and then vibration. So these vibrations and rotations, they have discrete energy levels. Obvious, because there is the energy level, they are high, they need high energy levels for rotation also and for vibration also. So in a molecule, mainly the atoms, they can whole rotate and vibrate with respect to each other. So these vibrations and rotations, they also have, which can be, they can considered with being packed on a top of electronic level. So they are whole like packed in the form of this. So UV absorbance spectra, they firstly where from arise? We can say that UV spectra, it is arise from this and this. Where from arise of UV whole absorbance spectra? So mainly UV absorbance spectra, they arise from transition of electrons. There are different type of transitions are here in UV. So UV absorbance, there is spectra, it arises from transition of electrons with a molecule or ion from lower to higher energy level. When these whole process in molecules and ions, there is a transition of different type of electrons from low to high position energy levels, then from there UV absorbance spectra, it arises. If electron absorbs UV radiations of any type of electrons which absorbs the different type of UV radiations of a frequency, that is the gamma, and it moves from lower to higher electronic energy levels. The energy difference is given by, that is E is equal to H gamma, that is in form of arc. So as we discuss from starting, that are different type of electrons are here. So what type of electrons? There are different types of electron we discuss here. So there are mainly three type of electrons, that is the sigma electrons, pi electrons and n electrons. So first one is your sigma electrons. They are single bonded. Single bonded means they are covalent, very tightly bounded, because in the covalent there is a sharing of electrons now. So they are single bonded and very tightly bound. Their example, they are all saturated compounds or comes under the sigma electrons. So these electrons mainly are of the balancing purpose and are present in inner shell of the nucleus. In whole nucleus there is the presence of in the inner shell whole electrons. So they require very high energy for excitation. Obvious, because there is a whole of the there is a collisions, because they are very tightly bound and lots of the collisions in it. So they obviously they require very high energy level from that excitation, but they are not excited in whole UV region, but in the vacuum UV region it excited. When it excited in the vacuum UV region, means they require a higher energy level from for the sharing and from further, because they are like tightly bonded, and it is also presence in inner shell of nucleus, and after that then from given out from that particular nucleus, so they need a very high energy. Then second one is your n electrons. What is an n electrons? N is the non-bonding first of all. So they are non-bonding electrons and a lone pair of electrons are present here. Lone pairs. So in n electrons they are non-bonding electrons or lone pair electrons, and it possesses the further non-bonding atoms like oxygen, nitrogen, xenon, sulfur and so on. So energy required for excitation is less than sigma electrons. Here sigma electrons, because it's a covalently and very tightly, it's like a merged with each other. So if as compared to sigma electrons, but in n electrons they need less energy or less because of the excitation power is it's a very like in a loose form. So in third one, that is your pi electrons. They are electrons in double or triple bond. They are easily excited. They are in double and triple bond. So they are all easily excited from ground state to lower state and like ground state to higher state and all. So absorbance high. Example, unsaturated compounds. Like in sigma compounds there is only a saturated compounds. Here only saturated compounds are here, so they need very much high energy. But in pi electrons they need very less energy because they are all unsaturated compounds. Like this. Like in this first one is your bonding, that is the sigma, then bonding pi, then non-bonding, that is n, then anti-bonding, that is the pi star, and anti-bonding sigma star. The word star means asterisk in on that particular word, that is a sigma and like your pi. So this is the star means it represents the whole anti-bonding. So in this first of all n to pi star there is a whole possible transitions are made. N to pi star. N to pi star it require very less space or less energy, we can say that. Then n to sigma star, it is also a possible like transition is here. Then pi to pi star, and then third is final is that is sigma to sigma star, which is very much large of lots of energy is here, it requires excitation for. Then first one is your sigma to sigma star transition. So in this an electron in a bonding, that is the sigma orbital, which is excited to corresponding anti-bonding orbital. So energy required, obviously it's in energy which is required is very much large. For example, methane. Methane which is only C single bond H, here it needs only a single bond, CH bonds, and can only undergo that is sigma to sigma star transition. It shows the absorbance maximum at 125 nanometer. So its absorption maximum is on 125 nanometer. So absorption maxima due to sigma star transitions, they are not seen in typical UV visible spectra, that is under the 200 to 700 nanometer, because the maximum absorbance is here, that is the 125 nanometer. So it is not seen in typical UV region. Then second one is N to sigma star transition. Saturated compound containing atoms with different type of lone pairs are here. Lone pairs, they are also in a non-bonding because N is here, N is the non-bonding, which is it shows also a lone pair. So in saturated compounds, it containing atoms with lone pairs and are capable of N to sigma star transition. Capability, this is another capability form because of the lone pair, because it's in presence of N bond, and N is the formation of the like a lone pairs also. So these transitions usually need less energy as compared to sigma star transition. They can be initiated by light whose wavelength is from range that is 150 to 250 nanometer. So there are a number of organic functional groups such as alkyl halides, amines, ethers, sulfides. They gave absorption bands like corresponding to N to sigma star transition in whole UV region. This is the picture of UV, the whole double beam UV region. There is a side on side there is a space space of different type of solvents or samples. So here and there is a one sample holder that is known as the cuvette. The sample holder which is used in UV, that is known as the cuvettes. That cuvettes are particularly for liquid holding of liquid samples. So there are further some applications of UV. So there are two main applications of UV spectroscopy. There is qualitative and quantitative. In analysis, there are two things are main, that is the qualitative and qualitative. Because in quantitative and qualitative, there are two things. In qualitative, there is a name based upon qualitative. It means it gives some quality. In pharmacy, we need to for different people, we just give some quality of medicines. So there we sample which we testing. There is also in the quality form, and there is a particular quantity, because if in quantity is 0.2 mg, that means 0.2, not 0.21. So these are the two main things in qualitative and quantitative. So the main application of UV, that is the qualitative applications. So in qualitative, it means the determination of purity, because purity, it means it's sum of the quality. So there is a determination of purity, and second one, the identification of compound. We can identify the compound by its quality also. Then second one is quantitative. In quantitative, it helps to determine the different concentration and amount of the drug which is present in a given sample, because the whole, it depends upon the whole concentration, that is the particular concentration and particular drug, that amount of drug which is present in given sample solution, as well as its percentage purity also, because it is very much important thing, that is the percentage purity. It's depend upon the whole percentage purity, like 100%, it's a pure or not. It's depend upon its quantity also. If we take the concentration quantity is 0.2 mg, then it means it's a 0.2 mg, and it gives the better results. So in quantitative analysis, there are different methods which we use, that is the absorbance factor method, reference standard method, direct comparison methods, calibration curve method we used in this, simultaneous equation method, derivative spectrophotometric method, and different spectrophotometric methods. So these are the some methods which we use in quantitative analysis. We done different type of methods, and these, according to these methods, we take a particular like different quantity of any type of sample which we use for analyze. So there are different all very much another examples of applications of UV, like elucidation of structure. It is also very much important thing, that is we identify the whole structure which we use in medicinal chemistry, like IUPAC name and different medicinal like whole interactions of any drug. We can also elucidate with the help of this spectroscopy. So this is all about the spectroscopic and somewhat the UV spectrophotometer. So next time we just need to like instrumentation of whole UV spectrometers. So in this we just have to read about the whole principle of UV spectrophotometer in the form of the absorption and emission, and after that there are some transitions, different transitions, and at last there are some applications of UV spectrophotometer. So okay, thank you so much.